How you guys doing?
What's
We're
up,
here
everyone?
at the Fish Tubers live stream. We have BigRich from Ohio Fish Rescue. We have Bret Raymer from the show Tank.
Hey,
yes,
hey.
we're not lying. He is actually here. And then we have my son Josh over there.
Of course, your favorite host up here,
Right,
your boy
right.
Josh.
You know him. He's the guy that cleans all my tanks. How y'all doing?
What's going on, fellas?
We're glad to have you here, buddy. We're
Thanks.
glad to have you. I can't
super
believe
exciting.
it. You're one of my stars.
Yeah, look at that. This is awesome. The show is amazing. Guys have done a great job here at the show. I walked through. People got to come down and check it out if they haven't. But
Oh yeah, this show is just
Have
amazing.
you walked past all those corals and that,
I haven't done the corals yet.
Front?
I saw
It's
the
awesome.
pictures
Wow.
on the previews, and I was blown away.
it's like going to a fish nightclub.
A fish nightclub.
It is.
I like that. That's perfect.
And of course, I'm sitting here looking for Greg's display because I know he had that mammoth-sized urn he just put out, and I'm like, where is it? I walked through the whole place, and I walked through the entrance, and I'm like, there it is.
That thing is pretty
Greg's always
amazing.
over the top.
Yeah.
That thing is pretty amazing. What Greg did.
Greg
I like
did
the the colors. You know, like the neons, all the neons in there. It's kind of unique and different.
Yeah.
So
Did you get yourself a pair of them glasses in front?
not yet. They're holding me a pair.
Okay, because they really enhance the colors here. It's
Nice.
really neat to walk around with that. But yeah, this is a great show. I don't know if you've ever
Certainly
heard of it
is.
before, but we did it 2 years ago in Chicago, Aquashella, and it was our first Aquashella. It blew us away. It was a great show, and we were supposed to do Florida. We couldn't make it. I have problems with my wife at home being sick, and I could not get a nurse to take up the time for us to fly to Florida. So we had to make Chicago, and I tell you what, hasn't let us down.
You know, obviously the show hasn't been on for a minute. It's been off the air since the end of 2018. I kind of
And
took.
we miss it, buddy.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I took a hiatus from the aquarium business for a while. Obviously, the pandemic put a wrench in a lot of people's plans last
Doing
year.
big things now.
Trying to. So now I figured, let me come out to the show and see what's happening. Get back in the business a little bit and see what's going on. See who some of the new players are. Get to meet you guys. You know.
I love this guy.
For sure. No, seriously, there's a lot of people that don't understand. I watch, your guys' channel. I watch a lot of the guys here.
Wait.
Yeah.
You watch our channel?
So you guys, I follow you guys. I'm most positive I do, but I see your stuff come up all the time in my feed. So I'm always checking out a video here and there. I'm just like anybody else, Television for me made me want to watch things more, what's going on in the industry. So I started watching out there and seeing the stuff that you guys do. And then I think I heard through the grapevine you guys might have a few in my aquarium somewhere.
That's what I was going to ask you.
That's what I'm
What
hearing.
was the first video you watched of us?
God, it's funny is it's probably not one that we did. I've seen you clean a few tanks. I've seen you, rescue a few things. I've watched a couple of just no specific videos, especially not with my stuff, but just stuff that you guys are doing in general. Which, by the way, is
See all the
great
work
stuff.
we put out.
Oh, you guys put a lot of work into it, for sure.
So now, yes, we have maybe one or two of your tanks. The big
Or 3 or
story is
4.
the Bellagios. I
Yes.
called the video the Bellagio heist because I stole those.
You did. You stole them from what I'm hearing, for sure. But that was a fun project. We had a lot of fun. That thing, people don't realize how much work went into that. I mean, there was about 100 people working on that particular project.
That's how big they are.
Well, the thing is the Bellagio is, the corridor is the size of this arena.
it's huge, yeah.
And
Right.
by the time you put all working around everybody, having to get that done within a week, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
We got paid. I'm glad you were able to get something good out of it, for sure.
See, you guys put all the work in creating the masterpiece. We put all the work in modifying it, making it work for our area. It took us 3 weekends alone just to cut down those stands.
Wow.
And I tell you, when we're cutting through that thick gauge metal, I'm sitting there,
Oh, you guys didn't chintz
you
on
guys
that metal, let
suck.
me
You
tell
did.
you.
Yeah, we
Cut
had
through
2-inch,
each individual
all
leg, it
nice
was so
2-inch.
hard.
They were 2-inch by 2-inch by quarter-inch metal.
Steel.
And
That's
there
how
was
we do
no
all our stuff.
cheapness. We had Stephen from SC Aquatics came up and spent the weekend, and we clamped down a metal bar going across and just cut with a circular saw with a metal blade.
Wow.
Sparks flying for hours.
It's like a
And
love-hate
sure.
we
relationship
had to
there.
weld it back together. Do this well, do that well, so it wasn't getting hot.
Right.
And then the pipes actually moved. The bars, when
Right.
we cut them, they actually moved. So we had to strap them, ratchet them, get them into position, and then weld them in.
Yeah, well, sitting in that position so long, once you cut them in a certain place, you release
do.
some of that, and they flex a little bit, that
Yes.
tension, because we were welding them, squaring them all up, making sure that they were all square, ready to go.
Weld metal, it heats and flexes.
Absolutely, for sure.
So yeah, we undid all that, and boy, It was a mess.
But they look great. From what I'm hearing, I heard you guys did an amazing job with them.
Those tanks actually sat outside an entire winter, outdoor in Cleveland, Ohio, and we had to put heaters inside of them. We shrink wrapped them, put moving blankets over them.
We put
3 different tarps
inside with a video.
And the tanks didn't leak, right?
Not at all.
You see, so that means, after all that, sitting in a warehouse, through heat, through temperature, and they lasted.
Outside.
We must have made a good tank, huh?
Yes, sir.
Dude, it sat outside in sub-zero degree weather, wrapped in a tarp, and then a year and a half later, we finally get them into our place, and we did not take out the corals.
Wow.
We caught so much heck from everybody. Oh, you're making a freshwater tank with corals in there? Them coral reefs, blah, blah, blah. The true coral people spoke up.
Sure.
So
you're going to get that no matter what.
But my theory was, look, I have the Bellagio tanks.
There you go.
I am not taking them corals out. This is that's a conversation piece.
Absolutely.
That's a show piece, and these corals identify it. If I took all these corals out and made it a tank, it's just a tank, and I have to prove to people that it came from the Bellagio hotel, made on the show tank.
See, you're hearing them say these exact words that, this is a masterpiece, and you got to prove that this tank's yours. But yet we have the tank you made for Dwight Howard sitting in our pool room right now, and he's wanting to cut off the back and make it a fish tank.
Stop. No, you guys overbuilt that Dwight Howard tank.
We probably did. Some of the times with some of the aquariums that we built, like we had a piece of 2.5 inch laying around that was scrap. We use it. We use it. It's less money out of our pocket.
Because that Dwight Howard tank is made out of 1.25 inches. It's 4 foot tall.
Right.
And it's only held for snakes.
Well, so the thing is with the celebrity Dwight Howard being in his house, even though 1.25 inches probably should have been if it was fully full, we wanted to make sure we went the extra mile. We always try to go the extra mile. That was the one thing about us. I mean, we did build a great aquarium. We did put a lot of effort into it, but we wanted to make sure at the end of the day that what you got, what you were paying for. You know what I mean?
Right.
You spent a lot of money with us,
And the life support system was amazing.
Nice. See,
got the Bellagio tanks. We got them 2 4-foot
chillers.
The chillers and the protein skimmers and the 6 foot long UV lights.
Nice.
And all the pumps. And we took that all out of there, We set it up for freshwater, so we didn't need none of that.
Right.
But I used the UV lights. The 2 of them, I plumbed them together and put it on our system for our water passes through.
Nice.
It's for all the tanks.
That's awesome.
And
that's amazing.
Those 2 sumps, those were completely overkill. They were
you
so
guys
heavy.
overbuilt this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you got to remember, when we're in a public location where you're going to have public people walking around, touching stuff, you never know. You always want to make sure you do it the right way and go over. We wanted to go the extra mile. That's really what we did. We always went the extra mile for people. People always like, oh, you're expensive. But, it's like having a Ferrari. You get what you pay for.
Right. And you know what? Now owning some of your guys' stuff, I see this because just the sumps alone, the lids are like a 1/2 inch thick, heavy. You don't need that kind of heavy weight. You just need to cover the bioballs to keep this plastic down.
Sure.
No, your lids are heavy.
Yeah, we wanted
them to lift them all the time.
Give you some biceps right there. But we wanted to make sure that at the end of the day that, people, no matter what we did, we had a name to protect. Look, I'm not saying every build was amazing and off the charts, but we try to put 100% effort into everything that we did.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you one question.
Yeah, of course.
This is a big debate going on with Ohio Fish Rescue. We have that Dwight Howard tank.
Right.
And it's mostly reptile with a little fish tank up front.
Correct.
Now what my idea is, and nobody can say that's not the Dwight Howard tank. That facade, that shape, that everything shows the Dwight Howard.
Right.
So if I change the insides a little bit, here's my idea. You built it with 1.25 inches, so it can be filled up to the top with water. Except for in the back there's doors.
Right.
Now we've got it up against a wall. So my idea is cover that with 1.25 inches of acrylic from the inside, seal it, and then use Universal Rock's background to cover the back wall. Now that'll give us from the front view a beautiful view. Now the only thing is that fish tank inside will now be in the way.
Correct.
So if we cut that out and we do the sanding down and we do the acrylic polishing and all that and eliminate that, leave the tree stump in there as decoration and make it a fish tank.
Yeah.
It's still going to be the Dwight Howard tank.
I don't even know. I mean, I don't remember how tall was the fish tank on the inside. Like a foot.
15 inches.
It was.
It was too tall. Yeah, you could cut that out. I mean, you could look. The shape is the same. The shape is the same, and you could do it. It just really depends on your look. I mean,
Well, you know, the Bellagio tanks, I didn't want to take the coral
Right.
top because that's what made that tank.
Right.
That you cannot say that's not the Bellagio tanks if them corals
Calls
are-
that in there, right?
But the Dwight Howard tank,
Yeah, you got a
that
point.
tree stump and them stands and the facade, you can't mistake that.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
making a fish tank, and that's what we are. But everyone wants us to go into reptiles and make it, oh, that thing's perfect for archer fish and this reptile. Well, we don't have access to the back.
Right.
So our only access is to the top because we got it against the wall.
Right.
It would be really murder for us.
Should
to
have that
something
man
in there.
right there come in and do up that tank for us.
Oh, you're talking about Tanner Serpa?
Serpa, yep.
He said he'd come out and do it, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather have that a beautiful fish tank.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. I love the shape of it. Obviously, they got the Superman flair to it, the Dwight Howard shape, and that was one of my favorite tanks. You know, Dwight was one of the guys that, I don't know if you saw the prank that I did to him, the Lego prank.
I was going to tell you about this.
So that was real. That was like, you know, I thought of that myself. I was sitting there one day and I'm like, man, I got to get Dwight back. What am I going to do to get him back?
So you really was a bastard, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I was. He got me good with the snake because I hate snakes. You know, like I'm not really
I saw
like into
that.
snakes at
There
all.
was no faking that reaction.
There is none. And we literally, I made the PA go get these Legos, and I was like, shh, don't tell nobody. He went and got the Legos. I threw them all over the floor. We smashed them up, and then obviously you saw what happened next. But Wade had no idea. The producers had no idea. I was just like, get the cameras ready. Just everybody get up. And then we blasted it out there, and that was just fun. But that, like I said, that tank has gotten so many views because of that prank.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think it was viewed over 100 million times, you know,
that's
overall, between all the different sites that it was on. But
Look on Dwight Howard's face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was great.
He didn't know what to say.
No, he
He
didn't.
didn't know whether to be mad or upset or you know, he was ready to
He was shocked. He was shocked. I really thought he was like gonna really like break down, but it was fun though. You know, look, one thing about making the show was it was an amazing experience. You know, getting to travel the world. You know, it took me to
you went
to
everywhere.
Dubai. I went to China. I went to Germany. You know, I've been all around. Meeting people, meeting celebrities, you know, some of them were great, some of them were just okay, but at the end of the day, they're just regular people. But I enjoyed really making the people out there, like just the regular people.
Yeah.
I saw, you know, we're here today, I saw 15 people that came over to me and said, hey, you know, I bought a fish tank because of you. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That stuff is what we did the show because we love being in the hobby, and we wanted to expand the nature of the hobby. You know, we thought that we were going to be able to give a voice to people and make the aquarium business fun, right? Make it exciting. Before us, there was just, you know, regular fish tanks, you know, little aquascaping here and there. Now you got kids sending me pictures of them making SpongeBob aquariums and making, you know, this car aquarium and asking me if they could put this Mattel doll in there. And, you know, just making kids be creative, making people create. It's just been a really, really fun experience.
So are you ever thinking about getting back into building aquariums, or is that kind of behind you?
Said that's done.
Well, you know, look, so I build, right now, I do a couple of projects yearly for, you know, if they're worth the project. If like somebody comes to me and calls me up and says, hey, Bret, you know, I have a project. I still have a team, but I'm not really in the aquarium business, you know, like I'm going to get back in somehow. I don't know how yet, but I'm working on a few things, but I'm not really into the everyday going to work, custom building aquariums anymore. If I can make the TV show without having to go to work every day, that'd be great, right? But at the end of the day, you know, did it for 25 years, so we'll see what happens. You never know what tomorrow brings. So right now, I'm just, you know, out here in the fish world, kind of exploring what's next, and you know, maybe pushing a few products and doing some other stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Cool. And from what I hear, you're doing a lot of big things lately.
Yeah,
You want to talk about
I'm
that?
trying. So we're in the process of, you know, one of the things about the hobby that I always found that people steered them in a different direction was maintaining your aquarium. You know, obviously, like you said, you got the job, right? I mean, without having the knowledge of maintenance, there's a good chance of failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
His maintenance schedule includes scuba gear.
There you go. So, you know, you
kind.
can have the money where you can hire someone and, you know, maintenance company and do like your pool. But then again, there's a zillion people out there that can't afford to do that want to do it themselves, that take it on as a hobby. So I found over the years, when I've gone to a lot of these conventions and I've done a lot of talks, my biggest thing is I ask people how many people have aquariums, and you know, half the room raises their hands, right? And then I go, how many people had an aquarium but hate it because they bought a small aquarium, and most people don't realize that small aquariums are harder to take care of than bigger ones. And then after you bought that small aquarium, the maintenance was so bad that you just threw it away and you never wanted to be in the hobby. The other half of the room would raise their hand saying, hey, you know, we're that other half. So I realized, and you know, having friends in Petco and pets and people that I've known for the years, a lot of kids, a lot of mom and pops working, you know, Petco and PetSmart, and they give out misinformation. Right. We're in the age of misinformation. Just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean it's true. You know, so at the end of the day, I try to tell. Right. So what you do is people try to look out for experts. So I consider myself an expert in the field. So what we've done is I've been working on an interactive aquarium maintenance training program.
Very nice.
So what it is it's going to be me teaching you how to maintain your aquarium, aquascape your aquarium, setup, disease. It has the whole infrastructure of all the information that you're going to need to be successful. And then within the system, you're able to purchase all different kinds of products that are going to enable you to continue to be successful. Because look, there's a million skimmers out there, there's a million wet dries, there's a million pumps. People want to know what works. They want to know what's going to be good. You know, they just...
Up until now, they have to trial and error and cost mega money.
Right. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is we're going to be encompassing this training program with a new podcast that I'm going to be launching sometime before the end of the year. And we're going to be bringing products onto the podcast, you know, talking about the products, opening them up, along with getting, you know, customer interaction on about utilizing the products. Okay. And then taking the app that we built and basically we're going to give it away for free. So what we're going to do, we're going to give away to anybody that wants to, is going to be able to download the app. We'll be able to download it for free. But then within the app, there's going to be obviously tons of different things that you'll be able to purchase and upsell and buy, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of what we've been working on.
That's a nice format right there. That sounds like a formula to work.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we try to give people information, right? Even with the television show, we tried to give people as much information as we could. Look, I know people had a hard time about the way the show was filmed, right? You know, I know that there was a lot of talk over the years about, you know, how do they fill these tanks up so quick? Well, let me tell you something. Where are we today? We're at a convention today, right?
Yep.
There's about 100, 150 aquariums here, all filled up, stocked with fish, right?
They filled up in a day.
In a day. They do it the exact same way we did it. You know, it's possible, right? So people used to say to us all the time, how do you guys do that? Look, we do it the same way that everybody else does it, with a little bit of help from the camera, right? We were able to get a little bit of help because of time. Here, you're just, once the show comes, if the tank is cloudy, you got to deal with it right there. You have there is no tomorrow. If we film and the tank is cloudy, that's a cut. Hold on, clean the tank up, do a water change, get it ready for filming. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's move forward. Right. And we would move it forward. Once the shooting ended, maintenance company would come in, remove some of the fish, break it down, you know, leave it up.
A lot of the fish, and this is what people had problems with, a lot of the fish for the show were there for display and the show, and then got removed.
Correct. Some of them got removed, and I'm not saying that happened all the time.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. We used a lot.
But at least it happened some of the time.
So we had about 1,500 gallons of bio balls that were sitting
already
5 years they've been from the works. That was sitting in a tub, and we would replenish it all the time.
It isn't being acclimated, or I'm sorry, cycled. It's already cycled.
It's already cycled. So we're putting in all these fish, and yes, they were overcrowded for filming, but at the end of the day, we would remove a dozen fish, you know, keep the tank up and running, making it so it would go. And we wanted to be successful because, look, if you bought an aquarium, whether you were a celebrity or not, and we were successful, you're still going to tell your celebrity friends and all your people, hey, come check out my aquarium, come over. We still had a reputation to protect, you know. I couldn't have, you know, Ludacris.
We did have a store to run.
Oh, of course.
In the real
a
life.
full business, but we couldn't have Ludacris, you know, having a terrible aquarium and having his friends come over and saying, oh, the guy taking pictures of it, posting it. You know, we wanted the aquariums to be a representation of us. So at the end of the day, we tried to make them as awesome as they could, but we gave instructions at the end and didn't leave anyone hanging. We always had them with a professional when we left.
Awesome. I hope that clears up a lot of things for a lot of people listening out there, because, you know, the show was awesome. I liked it. I'm upset that it actually stopped, because, you know, as much of a fish keeper as you know I am, and all my life been in for 40 years, yes, I still enjoyed the show. It was great. I love the joking around. I love the funness. I love the fish tank stuff. There was, yes, a couple of times you shouldn't have put this fish in with that one. And, you know, you're going to have experts out there going to speak on it. But other than that, it was a great show, and I liked it. You know?
It just
I'm
goes
sad
to
that
show
it's not there.
that, you know, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. You only have, you know, a 30, 40-minute episode. Yeah. You can only fit so much into that short segment of time.
Sure.
There's a lot that's left
in
out.
Our life, Josh, how many times have we gotten, you know, complained or you know,
every
yelled
day
at because we showed the video, here we got the fish home, okay, here's the fish in this, oh, you didn't acclimate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, look,
did.
no matter what you do, fellas, it doesn't matter, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
You're going to have both sides of the fence. I've learned, you know, I had to learn the hard way. You know, I created a television show not for science-based reasons. I created a TV show for entertainment. I'm an entertainer. You know, at the end of the day, I had an aquarium business, but I love to entertain. I love to make people smile, make people laugh, have fun. Right. All the comedy on the show, you know, I wanted to enlighten people. I used to see, you know, all these reef forums. The people would just go, the reefers, you know, they had such a big problem with me, right? You know, just going off every day, you know, saying
the purest elite.
The elite, of course, which was okay. And in the beginning, I had to go out there and try to defend myself, right? But then I started realizing that what they were doing was, it wasn't about jealousy. It was about the fact that they had information that they wanted to get out there, right, but they couldn't get it out there like I was able to get it out there, right? One TV show, so we would do about 1 million viewers just in the United States. We were in 190 countries in 35 different languages. Wow. So you have to remember, I have reached hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of millions. So at the end of the day, yes, we wanted to give information, but we had 40 minutes to give that information. We didn't dictate we don't edit like you guys edit. You guys do all your own editing, right? You dictate what comes on. I had to basically watch the show when you watch the show. And the reason
find out what they left in?
Yes, because I was critical of myself, because I was so critical. I said to myself, why do I want to be this critical when they've created something that's positive, right? So at the end of the day, they made a good show, and I let it go. So every day I'd go into work with the attitude of being fun, giving you some great information, but most importantly, I wanted the people to walk into your store and walk into your place and go, oh my God, I just saw that show Tank, I want an aquarium, right? And what that did is that spawned a whole gamut of the industry, right? All these people would be coming over to me during these conventions going, oh my God, thank you so much. You know, our store before your show, you know, we were almost closed our doors. Now we are selling tanks, and we're selling fish, and we're selling coral, and people come in and they asked about that. Did you see that show Tanked? And you know, look, YouTube has come a long way since my TV show started, and people get out their information through YouTube, which is fantastic. But we reach the masses with a snap of a button, you know? Right, and the crazy thing is, it's still on every day. Animal Planet airs the show at least once a day somewhere. It still airs on Friday nights. And you know, we've been off the air for 3 years, so that there must be some weight to that, right? They're not putting it on because it's not getting viewership. It's still obtaining viewership.
I'm sitting over here upset because it's not.
Right, and I'm upset too. You know, look, we did really well. We made a lot of money. I did well with the hobby.
15 seasons too, right?
Yeah, 15 seasons.
Here's the problem: it was on so long. We actually made a rapport with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and then you guys ain't there no more. You're not part of our life no more.
Yeah. You know? Well, hopefully I'm going to change that. You know, like I took a break in 2018. Then the pandemic set in, obviously last year, which gave me another year to kind of refocus. You know, everybody in your life, every once in a while, you gotta like refocus. You know, people don't realize I had a business that we did about, you know, $8 to $10 million a year, that I ran 365 days a year. Then we filmed a TV show 185 days a year. Then we traveled to conventions 40 days a year. So then we had family. I have kids.
Wait, you were being pulled at every angle all day long.
Every angle, every which way. And that's not counting. You can ask anyone that has ever come to ATM, that came to visit us. If you came to visit us, we spent time with you. You know, we went in there, we talked to you, we signed autographs, we took pictures. You know, we weren't the kind of guys that were just behind the scenes, do our show and not partake with our fans.
Right.
We wanted to interact. That's why I'm here. I came today. Greg, invited me down, and I'm like, you know what?
Greg Woodstock.
Yeah, Greg Woodstock, the pond guy, invited me down, and I was like, you know what, Greg? I think I'm finally ready to kind of get back into the business and start meeting with the fans and
people,
so I might start with this new app that I have launching, with this podcast that I'm going to be launching by the end of the year. It's going to be an aquarium animal-based podcast. So not just fish. It's going to be fish, dogs, cats, snakes, reptiles. We're going to have all different kinds of. Oh yeah, snakes. You know what? The thing is that
Wait a minute.
even though I hate snakes, but it's going to make a great show, right?
Right.
Even though it's going to be fun, I'm going to try to get my fears out of it. But
Are you going to actually touch snakes?
I'm going to touch him. I'm going to touch him. I'm going to try
He
new
has
things.
overcome his fears.
But I'm really excited about what's up and coming. And it was like, for me, it was like the great reset. I needed to reset my life. I needed to figure out what direction I'm going. And then once I figured out that direction, then it was just achieving the goals that I want to achieve. And that's where we're at right now. We're out moving in that direction, and I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll have my new Get Tank podcast, and hopefully I had a YouTube. So Wade and I launched a YouTube channel, right? We launched it one day. I put up one video, right? And we got 5,000 subscribers or 6,000 subscribers the first day we put up the video.
Right.
Then we were going to continue with it, but going from the 185 days of filming to going right back into YouTube the transition for me wasn't the same, because before they were doing it all. Right. Now I had to do it all, right? I had to film, I had to get the editors, I had to get everybody, and it wasn't something that I was ready for. So now I'm ready. I'm not in the aquarium business anymore. I do like 3 projects a year. I just finished a big lobster project in Vegas. I'm working on a nice reef tank in California, a 10-foot by 7-foot by 3.5 foot tall, nice big reef. So I still do a project here and there, but my main focus now is going to be on bringing information to the public again. Doing some live streams, doing some YouTube, doing some podcasts, but really eventually pushing the maintenance app, which I believe is going to be a success for a lot of people in the future to keeping a really good aquarium.
I heard through the grapevine there's some really cool guys in Ohio that love to do collaborations.
Absolutely. It's funny, it's between you guys and Greg and the other guys in Virginia. Meeting everybody here for the first time.
Who's that?
The KS, the tropical guy. Yeah. Meeting him. Just coming here and meeting everybody. And guys that believe it or not, I've seen a lot of these videos. I'm not a big YouTube watcher, but at the end of the day, between Facebook and YouTube, my phone picks up everything, right? Because I'm the fish guy. So I'm getting all these fish videos, and I'm checking them out every once in a while. But it's great to meet everybody, and you never know, some collaborations might come out of this for sure.
I tell you what, just coming here today, I was coming for the show anyway.
Right.
Just coming here today and finding out that Bret Raymer has watched my videos, I am so happy.
It's funny, is before we were here, I was scrolling through Facebook and your guys' videos came right up on my phone while we were here. So,
awesome.
You guys are doing a great job in what you guys do. I'm glad the Bellagio tanks and the tanks that we were, and what the crazy thing is the tanks that you guys have aren't tanks that just disappeared. So think about this. The Bellagios were made for a 4-month usage, and then that was it. That's what they bought them for, right? So they got uses of 4 months, and now somebody like yourself, for a great cause, got them. The snow globe tank, which I know you guys have, that was for a one-off too, right? It was 2. We used that one. People don't know, for the Sugar Factory aquarium. We did a gumball machine, and then we did the snow globe, and the snow globe was the same aquarium that we used for the other one. Yes, we refurbished it, right?
Okay.
So after that, and then you guys have the Dwight Howard aquarium. Well, Dwight Howard wound up moving from Houston. He got traded, moved to Atlanta, and then we did the big Atlanta aquarium for him, snake housing, another show, a whole nother tank for him. Right, so those aquariums that you guys happen to get just happen to be ones that were done because of people not wanting to use them. They were for one-offs, but most of the aquariums that we've built are still in circulation.
Right.
And they're still out there making people happy.
Right. Well, you know what? Your tanks at our place make a lot of people happy. because they're all like, "Oh my God, I saw this on that show," and blah, you know that show? And I'm like, "Yeah."
I will say this: out of all the acrylic aquariums that we do have in our possession, you know, we have tent to Denicore tanks. We have, you know, the list
All
goes
brands, yeah.
on. But you look at the quality of the tank being made. You look at the Bellagio tanks right next to a tent to Denicore tank, and it's a world of difference.
Just
How
the
you guys
acrylic is way
cut
thicker to
the
begin with.
angles to get more surface area on them 20-foot panels.
Wait, do you know how many
That's
people
ingenious.
it takes to carry a Bellagio tank?
Oh, probably
Not a
to
crane,
carry.
not a crane,
To carry,
carry.
probably 20.
It was 20 people. What a cat.
20, you
Floor
like that,
jacks.
right? So, you know, one of the things that I took a lot of pride in was our installation crew. You know, we banged out installations, guys. Like, I mean, you know, stuff that would take people like 3, 4, 5 days would take us a day and a half. You know,
Right.
I love doing, that was my favorite part of actually getting the tank off the truck and set into place. Once it was set into place, I was done, you know?
Wait a minute. Is this where you're offering, you know, riding the what do you call that? The little
The forklift or the cart.
right, the cart. Yeah.
Yeah, we get to, you know.
can't find
Look,
you.
if I'm going to do something, I'm going to have fun at it no matter what we do, you know. But yeah, but we
Fun,
did
for
build,
sure.
you know, look, my guys, like I said, I still do 3, 4 projects a year. I still have a couple of guys that, you know, used to work for ATM that I do business with that work for me. The one guy, Chewy, and his son, they've been building aquariums for 30 plus years, 40 years. They were the best. You know, people came to ATM because you got a good quality product. You know, at the end of the day, I still build a good quality product. Other companies look for the easy way out. You know what I mean? Meaning that borderline of thickness, you know, where it's supposed to be 1 inch and you could go 1 inch, but we would always go 1.25 inches.
Right.
You know, that extra
what I was
quarter,
just gonna bring up.
that extra 1/4 inch makes a difference.
It's the height that makes you have to have
Yes.
the thickness of the acrylic for the height.
Yes, the height and the width. The height is the most important,
Right.
but after 4 feet, you want to go up. So if we had a tank, let's say that was, you know, 6 foot long, 3 foot wide, and 3 foot tall, right? That's a
you can
1
do
inch.
that
That's
with
a
one,
1 inch,
yeah.
but that's a borderline 1 inch.
Right.
If
And
you
got
want to
so
make,
much
if you
better.
want to make that tank like you're never gonna worry, go up that extra 1/4 inch, 1.25 inch, and then, you know, 3/4 inch top and bottom.
Yeah.
Right. Now you go 4 foot, you're going to need a
Inch and a quarter, but if you want to 1.5 inch, right? So I would call you up and say, Rich, look, I recommend 1.5 inch. You don't need to go 1.5 inch. You can go 1.25 inch.
You can
For
save
the extra
some
2,
money.
you're going to save about $2,000, but in the long run, 15 years versus 25 years. How long do you want your aquarium?
Right.
You know. So at the end of the day, I tell people, pay the extra $2,000, get a better aquarium. I'm not making any money on you.
Because people don't understand the bowing and the recurve of the glass actually, you know,
Pressures on the
seal.
seams.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. It's basically, you know, the acrylic is chemically welded together on the exterior, right? So when you bond it, you're bonding it, the bonds are on the exterior. So as soon as you take that front panel and it curves in any way whatsoever, if you didn't bend it yourself, you're putting the pressure on the seams. And then as time goes by, what's going to happen? Boop, that seam's going to split. As next seam's going to split, your top and bottom are really holding it together. People think that if they put, I'm going to put 1.25 inch top and bottom on, 1.25 inch, I'm going to make the tank 3/4 but 4 feet tall. Yeah, great. When it's still bowing, it's still going to split.
The more
You
bow
know?
you got, the less time you have.
Absolutely, for sure. I always try to tell people, you know, make sure your tank's not pregnant. You can look down our aquariums.
I said pregnant.
Yeah, you can look down our aquariums down the whole side and
Right.
make sure that there's no pregnancy to it, and you know you got a good aquarium.
Right. You know what the problem I have with the Bellagio tanks is? Cleaning the algae off the inside of the tank.
Yeah. Oh, the actual tanks themselves or the coral?
The tanks.
So no magnets thick enough?
We have magnets, but if you move too fast, they fall off and start floating. So we have to do this slow motion, and it takes about an hour to clean each tank.
I don't know if I know that Mag floats here, but I know that Mighty Mag. Have you heard of Mighty Mag? Mighty Mag will custom make you magnets for up to 4 inch acrylic.
Really?
You'll never.
They are so expensive though.
But listen to me. Time versus money.
Right.
You got to look at it as how many times do you spend, does the thing pop off? Do you got to grab it, put it back on? So eventually, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit in the long run. But you know what? You guys are a nonprofit. Call them up, talk to them, give them the spiel, tell them what's going on. Tell them, hey, I need some mags. Send them to me. He gets a write-off for them.
Right.
You know, if I was you guys, I'd be having things written off all day.
Well, you know.
I'd be on the
Here's the
phone
problem.
being, hey, we need some magnets.
I have Josh.
We need to hire this guy.
I get it. But
neither one of us are good at talking to companies.
yeah, well, I mean, that was my thing. Like, I always would call up and try to get whatever I can. Look, you ain't gonna be a celebrity that long. I try to use what I can when I can. So, it was me just calling people up, getting different things. That's why I want to start this podcast where I'm, helping companies, right? Where I'm taking their products, reviewing them for them, putting them out there into the marketplace.
That's awesome.
Well,
now we're friends, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I wouldn't say no to you helping us out with magnets.
I would love to come out and, I think I'm going to, after this trip, I think I'm going to start really, going out there, checking people out. If I can use my connections to help you guys.
Good stories are great, too, for the YouTube.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. However I can help in any way whatsoever, I'm always here.
Awesome.
To help people.
Well, we appreciate that.
No, this is a great experience, for sure.
All right, so how much time do we got left?
I don't know. How much time do we have left?
Rob's not out there. He's talking to someone.
Oh, they're just ignoring us.
That's all right. We can still
shoot this shit.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of things people.
So no. What I want to know.
Yeah.
How did you get such a hot girlfriend?
Man, thank God for being a celebrity, right?
Right.
I mean, you want to know? The funny thing is Melinda and I have been friends for a really long time.
She's a sweetheart.
We've been friends for 10 years, and she's been my girlfriend for the last almost 4 now. But we were friends before that, and we just became friends, and just one thing led to the next, and now she's my girlfriend. But she's awesome.
A sweet person.
She is.
I went to shake her hand. She's like, "Oh no,
Hug.
I give hugs."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Aw."
Her pants.
I fell in love with her.
You see her pants? They're like the biggest hit here. She has like fish, aquarium, saltwater fish.
Yeah, I saw them.
Everybody's like, "Where'd you get the fish from?" The fish pants. So I think that's another business right there. You never know. You never know.
No, but she is a sweetheart.
Well, thank you very much.
And I just love her to death. And I see her constantly, focusing on your business.
Yes.
She's, videoing. She's taking pictures. She's, using what she can and pushing it.
Yeah. So
she's there with you.
So one of the things that I've been doing during the 3 years that I've been kind of on a hiatus has been brand managing. Right.
Okay.
So we have a company that's based out of Florida called Animal Necessity. And what they do is they have a new product that they're the only ones that have been in the scientific journals for testing CBD on dolphins and mammals. So hopefully in the near future, they're doing testing right now with aquatic animals. So we're talking about them about possibly doing a CBD line for fish.
What would that do for the fish?
Basically immune, healthy, help them heal quicker. Less bacterial infection, and color. Okay. Right? So they have a dolphin that's been on, a 44-year-old dolphin that's been on CBD for the last 2 years because she had a busted eye, and they've seen tremendous growth in tissue, in healing, in just everything with the dolphin. So it obviously works in mammals, and now they're getting ready to hopefully, I'm going to be working with them and hopefully doing something with the fish business as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're onto something there.
To help the industry. You're not doing something for profit. You're doing something. You're helping
always
the world. That's great.
Always. We want to always help. If you make a couple bucks on the side, it's not a problem. But at the end of the day, you want to always get out there knowledge, right?
Good.
I tell people people ask me, why did you make the TV show? You want to know the honest reason? The real reason was to become a legacy, right? This is something that is going to be forever. My show is not going to go away. Just like, you're watching reruns of stuff from John Wayne. People are going to be watching reruns of Tank in 30, 40, 50 years from now, right? And they're going to be retaining information that we've created over the years. And that's important to me, and I try to explain that to people. It was great to get it out there, but it's going to be something that my family, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, and so on are going to be able to say, hey, that was Grandpa Bret, or that was Uncle Bret, or that was this one. Look what he did and what he did for the years. Being in the hobby and being in 190 countries.
Grandpa Bret knew the guys from Ohio Fish Rescue.
That's right, exactly. And that's my point. It's just about building that legacy, and you do that with giving out good information.
Awesome. I've learned a lot of different things here today.
Certainly.
See, even old dogs can learn.
That's right. Absolutely, for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're doing that. It's and the fact that your girlfriend is in there doing it with you, I love that.
Yeah.
Togetherness is and family is all good stuff. and she's there with you. She's not lazy by any means,
No.
you know.
Not at all.
She's right there backing you up. I like that.
Absolutely. She comes through with all my shows. She helps me with whatever I do. You know, she's a real estate agent as well in Vegas.
Okay,
And she works for Berkshire Hathaway, so she does her real estate. And then, like I said, we do brand management, and she does the social media side where I help produce video content for different brands. And, you know, I enjoy that. I enjoy that side of the camera too. Instead of me being the famous one, I'm helping people become famous.
Okay.
You know, and that's kind of what I've been doing. So she helps, she's great. You know, the company that we do it for and that we work with, we're helping build their brand, Animal Necessity. And like I said, it's just fun doing the things that you love. That's what's important. You got to do what you love. Don't be that guy that's sitting in the bus driver, being in a bus driver's seat and going, hey man, you know, I've been here 30 years. I can't believe that I didn't do this. If I had $1 for every time that my family told me that the show was the stupidest idea they ever heard of, I'd be rich, right? Because I wrote the show, I created it, people laughed at me, I filmed it, shopped it, and sold it myself to Animal Planet. And then we were the #1 show in Animal Planet history up until, you know, pit bulls and parolees. But it was something that I could be proud of because I wanted to do it and I didn't quit, right? I was able to say that I had the idea. I made the. You can have ideas all day long. If you don't act on them, what's an idea?
It's nothing.
Right.
Someone else is going to have it 2 years later, and they got it.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
capitalize on it.
you know, you could have goals, but it's the way you have to get to achieving your goal. You know, don't just be like, you know, hey, I want to be, you know, like I sit here and I say, okay, I want to get my YouTube channel going. But at the end of the day, it's not going to get going until Bret Raymer doesn't act on it, right? So at the end of the day, I tell people, if you have something that you believe in, act on it. Don't worry about failure. Failure is the key to success. People don't understand that. Failure is the key to success. And I say that because if you learn from your failures and you don't go back and make the same mistake twice, you're going to be successful.
Well, that, and if you don't apply yourself and put every waking moment into what you believe in, you're not going to accomplish it.
True.
No one's going to do it for you.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. I tell people, don't be scared to do more than one thing, right? You can do 20 things. You know why? Because you only need one to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You only need one to work. Let me tell you something. If you think the fish show idea was the only idea I ever had, you're crazy, right? It was one of my ideas that I acted on that was successful, right? I had a brand management company idea. Am I super successful? No. Now, no, but I'm successful. You know, I make money at it. I do okay. I pay my bills. So I'm, in that sense, I'm successful. But like I told you, I didn't know what I was going to do. I said I want to still do filming. So I'm like, all right, everybody needs social media. Everybody needs video content. But people don't really like to deal with it. Just like I don't like to deal with it. Like I'm telling you that the things we were talking about is I don't really like to deal with it, but I'm doing it for other people because they don't like to deal with it. So that's kind of what it is. I just tell people, act on your dreams. Don't ever not believe that a dream is not attainable, because the only person stopping you from attaining your dreams is you.
Right.
That's it.
Because you were too lazy to get up and do it. You're too lazy to do what you don't feel like doing.
Yeah,
You know?
it's the truth.
Just get up and do it. And if it don't work out, you don't have to feel bad because you gave it your 100%.
As long as you give it 100%, and you know, another thing is don't believe in what anybody else tells you. You know, there are people that are going to tell you, you know, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, it's not that. Those are the naysayers. Those are the haterades. You know, those are the people that you don't want in your life, right? You want the people that are going to be, man, go ahead, that's great. And then if you fail, that same person comes back to you and says, it's okay. You know, it's okay. You did your best. Did you feel like you put your best effort in? Yes. Well, I could have. Well, if you could have done it, then go back and do it, because you're not done yet. You haven't finished, right? So the long story short is, I try to tell people, look, believe in your heart, believe in your dream, but you need to apply yourself, and don't quit until you feel satisfied that you've put in that 100%. That's it, fellas. So this was a great experience, man. It was really good to meet you guys. I am fan, by the way. You know, and let's see if we can make something happen. Maybe we do something together. I'll come out to see you guys and come check out the place. And
when you come out, are you man enough to go swimming with the predators?
Man, you know, we'll have to see. We'll leave that for an episode for people to come and check it out. But But yeah, I just want to let everybody know that this is a great show. If you haven't checked it out, definitely come down and check out Aquashella. Make sure you check out my guys right here at the Ohio Fish Rescue. These guys are doing some awesome stuff. And then keep your lookout for me, because I'm not done yet. I'll be coming at you guys soon. So thank you for having me.
Dude, it's been great with
Oh
you.
man, it's been a pleasure. Absolutely, for sure.
Thank you. All right, we're out of here, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we got our producing crew over here, saying all kinds of things. What do you mean by that? They're going like this, like, keep going.
Well, we got to leave you off with saying one thing.
What's that?
As always,
Stay fishy, my friends.
Yes,